The life and legacy of Princess Louise, Duchess of Fife. The difficult birth of Princess Louise. Princess Louise, the third child and eldest daughter of King Edward VII and Queen Alexandra, was born on the 20th of February 1867. Though her upbringing was privileged, her birth was not without difficulty. During her pregnancy, Queen Alexandra developed rheumatic fever and was unable to use chloroform during her labour. This made for a painful delivery of Princess Louise, and despite the difficult birth, Louise was a healthy baby, and as she grew, she showed a shy and low-key personality. Louise grew up with 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and they were all raised in a loving and supportive environment. Their father, King Edward VII, was a hands-on parent who took an active role in their upbringing, and their mother, Queen Alexandra, was affectionate and nurturing. Louise's childhood was filled with royal duties and activities. She attended public events with her family and participated in court ceremonies, but she also enjoyed more personal pursuits such as riding horses and playing the piano. Growing up as a member of the British royal family. Princess Louise was born on the 20th of February 1867 at the Marlborough House in London. As the third child and the eldest daughter of Edward VII and Alexandra, she received the title of Princess Royal, which is given to the monarch's eldest daughter. Despite being a member of the royal family, Princess Louise had a relatively normal childhood. She grew up with her brothers, Albert Victor, George, and her 2 sisters, Maud and Victoria. The siblings were close and enjoyed playing games and taking part in outdoor activities together. Louise's education was not conventional for a royal princess. She was taught by private tutors and attended local schools, where she learned a range of subjects including history, literature, and languages. Her education was augmented by trips to museums, art galleries, and other cultural events. As a member of the British royal family, Princess Louise was also introduced to a range of official duties and events from a young age. These included attending state banquets, visiting hospitals and charitable organisations, and taking part in ceremonial events such as Trooping the Colour and the opening of Parliament. Despite her royal obligations, Princess Louise was known for being shy and reserved. She preferred to stay out of the spotlight and avoided large social gatherings wherever possible. Her quiet and unassuming nature meant that she was often overlooked by the press and the public in favour of her more outgoing siblings. Despite her reserved demeanour, Princess Louise was very close to her parents, particularly her father, Edward VII. She described him as the best of fathers and often confided in him about her concerns and aspirations. Growing up as a member of the British royal family was both a privilege and a challenge for Louise. While she was exposed to a range of unique experiences and opportunities, she also had to navigate the pressures and expectations that came with her position in society. Despite these challenges, however, Princess Louise remained committed to serving her country and her family throughout her life. As she entered her teenage years, Louise's mother became increasingly concerned about the prospect of her daughters marrying. She was determined that they should not make mistakes in their choice of partners, and so she was hesitant to encourage any courtships. Louise did eventually find love when she met Alexandra Duff, 6th Earl Fife. Louise and Alexandra fell in love quickly and were married in July 1889. The couple settled in Scotland, where Alexandra had inherited a large estate. Louise and Alexander were well suited to each other, sharing a love of hunting, shooting, and the Scottish countryside. While he was often busy with his duties as a member of Parliament, and she had to attend to her royal duties, they still spent a lot of time together outdoors, enjoying each other's company. The family's main residence in Scotland was Mar Lodge, a hunting lodge in Braemar. It became a hub for the Fife family, and the place where they would welcome their royal relatives and elite guests. They had 3 children together: Princess Alexandra Victoria Alberta Edwina Louise, born on the 17th of May 1891, who later became the 2nd Duchess of Fife; Princess Maud Alexandra Victoria Georgina Bertha, born on the 3rd of April 1893, who later became Countess of Southesk; and Alistair Windsor, born on the 9th of January 1914 and did not hold any title, as he was tragically born stillborn. Louise was a devoted mother and took a keen interest in her children's education and upbringing. In 1900, it became apparent that Louise and Alexander were unlikely to have any more children. This posed a problem, as Alexander was the heir to his father's dukedom, but he had no male children to inherit it. To remedy this, Queen Victoria created a 2nd Duke of Fife, with a special remainder in the event of no male heir. This ensured that the Fife dukedom would continue even if Alexander died without a son. Tragically, Alexander did die young, at the age of 62, leaving Louise a widow. In December of 1911, while sailing aboard the SS Delhi to Egypt, the Princess Royal and her family were shipwrecked off the coast of Morocco. Although they were otherwise unharmed, the Duke of Fife fell ill with pleurisy, probably contracted as a result of the shipwreck. He died in Egypt in January 1912, and Princess Alexandra succeeded to his dukedom, becoming Duchess of Fife in her own right. Louise's later years and legacy. In her later years, Princess Louise, Duchess of Fife, was known for leading a rather reclusive life, and after the death of her husband, Alexander Duff, Louise retreated to her estate in Scotland and devoted her time to her family. Louise remained an active member of the royal family and continued to attend important events and ceremonies with her mother and sister. In the years leading up to her death, Louise suffered from heart disease, and in the October of 1929 at Mar Lodge, she was taken ill with gastric hemorrhage and she was brought back to London. It was here that Louise died in her sleep 15 months later, on the afternoon of the 4th of January 1931, a month before her 64th birthday, at her home at Portman Square in London, with both of her 2 daughters, Alexandra and Maud, at her side. Her funeral was attended by members of the royal family. In many ways, Princess Louise's later years were a reflection of her life as a whole. Despite her reserved demeanour, she remained committed to her family until the very end. And though she may not be as well remembered as other members of the royal family, her legacy continues to inspire and influence those who follow in her footsteps. Please continue to support my channel by subscribing. Please comment, like and subscribe if you wish for more stories, and leave your suggestions below and I will endeavour to cover them.